Hey, what's good? When this is Abner under 18 in the question, I want to talk about some breaking news going on around the NBA, and we got to talk about the Toronto Raptors and Scottie Barnes as they just agreed to a 5-year, $275 million contract to basically give Scottie Barnes what's already been known, the keys to the franchise, and being able to lead this young rebuilding Toronto Raptors squad. As Scottie Barnes, he has been doing amazing for the Raptors. Like, he's one of the few bright spots for them in one of their darkest periods, especially like when a few years ago they just won their first ever championship. Scottie Barnes was an all-star this past NBA season, and he's been doing really good, averaging 19.9 points per game, 8.2 rebounds, 6 assists, 1.3 steals, 1.5 blocks, shooting 47.5% from the field, 34.1% from three-point range, while having 2.8 turnovers, which is understandable that his numbers and his usage is a lot higher because the Toronto Raptors have traded away guys like Pascal, Siakam, and OG Anunoby to the Pacers and the Knicks respectively, and getting some pieces in return, and freeing up cap space to be able to give Scottie Barnes his contract, and also to be able to build the team purely around Scottie Barnes, instead of like being in this stuck in the middle where like they're trying to win now with the guys I previously mentioned, or they're trying to build for the future with Scottie Barnes, and now they're choosing the latter and going all in, and now they're going to be able to be in a pretty good position to be able to turn things around within these next few seasons. And as the NBA draft is coming up, the Toronto Raptors do have the 19th pick, so they can use that to help Scottie Barnes. There's been a lot of Hall of Fame players and players that are really good and really helpful to be able to help in this case, the Raptors be able to perform. As we've seen, Kobe Bryant, he was famously the 13th overall pick. If we want to look at as far back, if we want to look at just fairly recently with Jaime Jaquez for the Miami Heat, he was an 18th overall pick if I recall correctly, and he's been doing amazing for the Miami Heat. We've also can see so many other players. Donovan Mitchell, he was also a 13th pick. Devin Booker, like, there are plenty of players that are like that either are future Hall of Famers, Hall of Fame players, or at least guys that are contributing to their teams right now in win now situations that have gotten selected in the teens. So yes, I understand a lot of people are saying that this draft is not as deep or impactful as last year's draft, for example, but you never know. I mean, we don't know these things. We don't know for sure. I mean, we could say that, for example, last year's draft was the greatest draft ever, and 5 years from now, there might be a handful of players who are lottery picks that are out of the league. We never know. So I wouldn't necessarily count out this draft. I mean, because every single year there's always like a good player that he can contribute to a team, whether they're competing for a championship or they need to speed up the rebuild process, whatever the case may be. There's always a good talent around them. That's why these guys are pros. So I would not discount the Raptors having the 19th pick to be able to maybe find somebody who's really talented who can help the squad. One player I forgot to mention, Giannis Antetokounmpo, he MVP, NBA champion, face of the franchise for the Milwaukee Bucks. He was a 15th overall pick. So there's plenty of players that have gotten selected in the middle of the first round that ended up becoming amazing, talented players. So who knows, maybe the 19th pick for the Raptors, he could be someone really impactful for this team and be able to be talked about for many years to come to help out Scottie Barnes to get the Raptors back in the championship contention. But we'll just have to wait and see. As the Toronto Raptors, I mean, they do have their work cut out for them, as they were ranked 12th in the East this past season with a record of 25-57, which is understandable because they made it very clear they were rebuilding by getting rid of their top star players and not re-signing them, and then like, for example, getting rid of Fred Van Vleet, and then this past season getting rid of like I mentioned earlier, Pascal, Siakam, OG Anunoby. Those guys, they were shipped off to contending teams, and they've been able to shine and perform over there, whereas had they stayed with Toronto, they would not have been as much on the spotlight, and they would have eaten up the Raptors' salary cap and would have made some even more tougher decisions. But good thing the Raptors actually have a direction. They're trying to rebuild. They're trying to think for the future. And Scottie Barnes, he's very young. He's at the time of recording, he's 22 years old, and he's going to do really fine. And as long as he keeps doing what he's doing, improving his game, and not letting anything get to him, and staying healthy, I believe he can be the Raptors' next big time star. I mean, the Raptors do have an amazing history of having like some of the biggest talents out there, whether it was Vince Carter, whether it was Chris Bosh, Kyle Lowry, Pascal Siakam. If you want to even mention Kawhi Leonard, even though it was for one season, but he led the Raptors to their first ever championship up to this point. So Scottie Barnes, if he can keep this up, he can definitely be in that list of all-time Raptors greats. So overall, I'm happy for Scottie Barnes. He deserves it. He's gonna do really good for Toronto. Let's just see if he can turn this team around and get him back in the playoff contention, because with the record I just mentioned earlier of 25-57, it's very lackluster. But I do believe he can. He can turn around, and especially with getting a little bit of help, because basketball at the end of the day is a team sport, and everybody needs help to some degree. So hopefully the Raptors will be smart with this draft pick or even free agency, and be able to help the Raptors at least minimum next season make the play-in tournament. But I want to hear what you guys think. Raptors fans, how you guys feel? Do you guys like the contract for Scottie Barnes? Do you feel he deserves it? Was it an overpay, or do you believe like you should use that money to focus on more free agents to be able to help out Scottie Barnes? I'd love to hear you guys out in the comment section, just so we can get a true reaction, and I want to hear what Raptors fans feel honestly in this topic. But thank you so much for all your time and effort. I appreciate each and every single last one of y'all. Please like and subscribe to the channel. Thank you so much. God bless, and talk soon.